she's got her, she used to have her phone turned way down, so it wasn't real loud. And I call and I said, forget it. And then finally told her one day, hey, if I'm lying dead, if I'm dying on the side of the ditch, I'm calling the president before I call you to get help. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like I could never get a hold of you. Bye.
Like, and I used to argue all the time because she would call me,
Mm-hmm.
and it would I'd be on the other line. And as soon as I get done with the phone call, I'd call her back 10 seconds later, and she wouldn't answer. And then she wouldn't answer or respond to text. I was like, do you literally go hey, Dale, it's Becky, give me a call. We need to talk. And then hang up and then just throw it out the window.
Don't call me. Yeah.
So the Home Builders Association up here in the Black Hills has an annual show. On the Fireplace side, we are in it every year. We showcase what we can do. So I think this is a little bit of that, showing what we did. Hi, everybody. Hello from the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. We're actually here at the Black Hills Home Builders Association Home Show this weekend.
Yeah, and while we were here, we asked people about construction things, got their ideas and their opinions. So enjoy.
We should do that again.
It depends on the type of work that you're getting done.
Absolutely not.
My next door neighbor's a contractor. I hire him all the time.
No, I don't.
Yes.
No.
Materials are going up. Prices on everything are going up.
Some, yes. Depends on the contractor, but some, yes.
I think since the demand for contractors has been so high that they're getting a premium sometimes for the work that they do.
Not always. Typically, the good ones aren't.
Some of them are. Depends on who you get.
Some can be. They just demand more for what they do.
I guess it just depends on the work that they're doing. So, I mean, I think in thinking about using a contractor, that is a concern, but I wouldn't say they're too expensive.
No, not if you hire a good one. They're reliable and they know what they're doing, and you'll get you the best value for your dollar.
I think that the business is really good right now, and they don't have a lot of competition.
Some of those people drinking?
Why is there such a variation between one contractor's price and another price?
How can you keep on jumping your prices up so much?
That's a fair question, yeah, and that's a tough one to answer, and there's so many different answers to that one. And some are not fun to hear. And some of these people allude to it is everybody's so busy. There's a lot of contractors that are so booked out that they are going to throw a high price out there, and if there's a taker, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is, especially for the past 2 years, contractors are scared of the supply chain and the just the roller coaster in pricing and more of the escalating of pricing. Lumber's been all over the place, so they're trying to put a pad out there to protect themselves a little bit. And then, honestly, through time, there's just, you have a guy that's coming out of his pickup. He's able to kind of have low prices. Buyer beware. You also have guys that have maybe a little bit more overhead. They're a little bit more of a company than they are just a craftsman. So their overhead and stuff, you typically might be a little bit more protected with warranties and long-term service with guys like that. So there's no really magic answer for that question, because even as a contractor or a builder, sometimes I'll get numbers from subcontractors, and there's and I'm going to answer my own question. Is a lot of times you're not getting apples to apples. This contractor has maybe not the exact same idea of what this contractor has, and the specs are different, or what the expectation is different. So I say that's the biggest thing, is make sure the bids are apples to apples. So
yeah.
Why are you never on time with your projects?
That's a good question.
Guilty as charged. I mean, there's always on our bigger project, there's always something that punches you in the face. We try to stay on time and be very tight with our schedule and communicate good, but a manufacturer will cancel your cabinets the day you're supposed to take delivery. In our industry, it's a snowball effect. This subcontractor is being held up by a contractor, that he was held up by another contractor, and the snowball effect, especially kind of in a smaller community, but it happens in the big communities too because there's that many more people. The snowball effect really becomes an issue. You still try to mitigate that as much as you can by ordering your stuff as early as possible, being very prepared. I always say there's a lot of guys that are very good at their craft, but they're maybe a little sketchy on the business end of it. Then, like I said, you have bigger companies that are a little bit more process oriented, and they can usually keep their schedule, have a few more guys helping out. So, again, a fair question, but yeah, it can be frustrating for all of us, even as a GC, making sure our subs and we are staying on time.
What's the average timeline for building a home? I know there's more expensive homes and takes longer, but if you could average it out, what would it be? Yeah.
That's a
broad question.
Very far out. Well, you've got some contractors that will say X amount of days. We build a home in X amount of days. I subbed for a contractor in Spearfish that was notorious for saying we can build our home in, I don't know.
I think you said 90 days.
Yeah, 90 days, 100 and something days, which is insane because there's a huge process. And with those homes, the plumbers, the cabinet guys, the painters, everybody, the flooring guys, we're all in at the same time. And it's chaos, insanity. And the end result at sometimes it's just eyesight. This is nice, but then there's a lot of attention to detail that was passed over or missed or problems because of that.
What got them into it?
Why do you enjoy doing the job?
Yeah, it's challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do a job that's repetitive every day, and that gets really boring, old. And I think as I've gotten older and as I've been in this business longer, problem solving has become a little easier just because you've already made so many mistakes, or you've already seen so many mistakes made, or you've just built your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of fun and interesting to see how much further you can go of knowledge or just know-how. There's still a lot of things I don't know how to do, and I've been in construction for a long time, since I was a kid, and there's still things that I can say I know how to frame a chase. I've built houses with people, but as far as myself, walking out the door and starting to build a home from scratch would probably not be a good idea. But I could get in there and do the job. I like that process of learning the next step. Like, okay, I know this part now. Now, how do I get to that? So it's fun. It's fun to see something go from dirt to a beautiful home.
Now, I definitely love the art of building a home. I love the science of building a home. Sometimes the business of building a home can be a little bit stressful or not as fun. We've been very fortunate. We have awesome customers. Every once in a while, you'll get a doozy. But it's very kind of cool that you're creating something. It's tangible. It's important. People, there's, not to disparage what anybody else does for work, but for me personally, it's cool to drive by down the street and say, I built that, and someone's living in it. And you walk in 6 months later, at the end of a project, you're like, do I know how to build a stupid house anymore? Because you're always focused on getting the bad things good, getting it, and you hate the house. And then you come back 6 months later and you're like, this actually turned out really good. You love seeing it. So yeah, just being able to be a part of the creative process, and it just feels cool to have something tangible that you created.
What is your experience?
I don't know. We just kind of make it up as we go along. No.
Yeah. Improv.
No, it's
construction thespians.
That's a fair question. I mean, you want to have a guy that's, depending on what you're hiring for, you want to know that they've kind of been through the ringer or been to war a little bit and got a little bit of experience on them.
Who are your references?
I guess my first question is for references.
references is always a good question. Yeah, absolutely.
I think for okay, is this saying that the customer is asking contractor for references?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So referrals is a huge part of Black Hills Fireplace, only because we get a lot of people coming in saying the repeat customers. I think we've been handing out a lot of those referral cards, and people like our customer service. It's a huge thing.
That's been a staple for years. They always talk about marketing and what you're about, how much you're spending on marketing, or how do you referrals. I mean, especially for custom home builders, has been the staple for years. They always say, go back and reach back to your old customers, stay in front of them, make sure they're telling other people. But if you're a customer and you're about ready to sink a decent amount of money into it, ask for references.
Who they would recommend for a subcontractor. I think who they use for subcontractors is really valuable because that's who generally does, from my understanding, a ton of the work.
A contractor is kind of he's the guy, the maestro.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't hire the right
oboe player,
yeah, that could be a real horrible sound.
No, that's a totally fair question, and it's you will really hope that there's a lot of contractors that have when they get their bids from their subcontractors, they bottom line, but and to me that's kind of a bad MO. I do not like having a revolving door of subs. I want to have the same core of guys. Got to keep them honest once in a while, double check their pricing, but knowing that they have their back, that they're going to be honest with you, that they're going to honestly have the customer's best interest in mind. That sounds cheesy, but they've been in business for a while. So, we're always still looking to grow what our network is, or still, if we can find an improvement. Right now we need, there's a couple of aspects that we need to improve on. So we're always looking for that next guy, but our core, I'd say 80 to 90% of our core we really like, but it's a good question is, can you tell the lady who your subs are and who's coming on this job, or are you going to make it up as you go along?
What's the price of them putting in compared to me putting in myself?
It's going to be a night and day difference. Yeah, it's going to be more.
A lot more.
The quality of their workmanship. What is their quality of their workmanship for going on ahead and building? And that's the main thing I want to know. And then I'd want their references. Is their workmanship holding up? Because if their workmanship isn't holding up, then there's no reason to hire them.
That is very important. When I was doing remodel work in Arizona, I kept photos and a way to show people my work. And then we also had customers that would take phone, I could call them up and say, hey, I've got a customer here that would like to talk to you or ask you some questions. And that's really a great way to prove that you know what you're doing, or to find out for a customer to find out for themselves if they really want to hire a contractor.
Definitely, yes, because I'm single and that's the only way to get it done, because I don't do that type of work.
Yes, insurance purposes. If you've got a licensed and bonded contractor and something that they did messes up your house, then there's insurance on it. If you try and DIY it and you mess something up, then you're footing the whole bill yourself.
And there's certain things that I think people could do themselves, but a lot of contracting work you need a professional to do. So 99% of the time, I think you should hire a contractor, yes. You're not going to save as much, a ton of money doing it yourself in the first place when you can just pay for that, plus the professionalism of having it done by a pro and making sure it's getting done right.
Yes, they know what they're doing. I'd say do your research. Find a good contractor who's got good reviews if you can, because not all of them are trustworthy, unfortunately.
Definitely. I mean, unless you have the experience and skills yourself and the time, because typically a contractor is going to be able to do it, in a more timely manner, where if you're doing it yourself, you're going to be doing it before work, after work, and then that project's going to drag on forever. And
I do a lot of work myself.
Depends on the project.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I am a contractor, so I believe in doing it the right way.
That's my man right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%. My husband and I have done plenty of, DIY kind of things. And while we're really good at it, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
For some things.
Yes, and then again, you have to do your research to make sure you get a good one that's, gonna comment when he says and, do what he says he's gonna do and not just scrimp and, yeah, you gotta have a good one.
Yes, it is worth it to hire a reputable contractor.
That lady's been burned.
I think Season's holding a gun to her. Say what you want. Say it.
If I were building a house, I would build with the intent of maintenance and upgrade.
The overall square footage of the house.
Probably, if it were me, probably like a game room or something.
Kitchen and bathroom.
Probably the kitchen.
Probably the kitchen.
Oh gosh, I feel like the kitchen and the bathroom would be the two places that I would spend the most money.
Probably in the bathroom, and then outside in the flooring.
Kitchen is probably always a good investment. I personally love the outdoors, so I love a nice patio.
I'd want to spend the most money on the outside to make sure that the exterior goes ahead and holds up the best.
Planning and engineering. That's where you save the most money, when you have it all planned out and you know what you're getting and you know that it'll be built properly if it's built according to plan.
That's my man. Were you holding a knife up to that lady to make her say some words?
The one that was going like this?
Yeah.
She means business.
References.
Yep.
My kitchen.
Kitchen.
It would be the kitchen and baths.
The kitchen.
Gosh, it would be our kitchen.
Probably just be my kitchen.
My master bath.
Probably the bathroom. Bathroom, yeah. It's a little small and cramped.
I have a bathroom I really want to remodel. A bathroom is kind of the big thing.
I'd probably do the basement. So I'd be able to turn that into my whatever room I want,
A master bedroom.
It would kind of be a combination of a two-room, because we've talked about tearing down the wall between our kitchen and living room.
Were you surprised at all about people's general responses for what they would spend the most money on?
No,
on a new
I knew
house?
it'd be kitchen or outdoors.
That was pretty much everything in Arizona was kitchen, bathrooms, kitchen, bathrooms. Yep. Every once in a while we do a little living room or entertainment room center.
Kitchens is the go-to answer all the time. I mean, 99% of the time.
Do you agree with that? Do you think people should be spending most of their money there?
I mean, per
Or a good
square
portion?
foot. Yeah, I mean, per square foot, that's where you spend the most time. I'm sure if you did a straw poll, most women would say they want their kitchen done. That's where they spend their time. It's important to them. For some, it's an ego thing. It's a status thing. For some women, they really enjoy being in their kitchen and they want it to be efficient and beautiful. There's a lot of aesthetics and detail that goes into a kitchen. So, and honestly, the trends change so often over the years and stuff like that. It just seems like every 15 to at least 15 years, people are remodeling their kitchens these days.
Spendy.
It is spendy.
But it's kitchens and master bathrooms. We did a lot of master bathroom remodels.
And the ROI on kitchens is pretty legit too. So, I mean, if you have a beautiful kitchen and you're looking to sell your house, somebody's going to walk in and emotionally just see, oh, that's gorgeous. You probably sold your house.
Mm-hmm.
So, we done?
Yeah, I'm going to end it right there with that.
Are we done?
We done yet?